Hey, what's up? You're hanging out with Sabotage Beats here on the Meaty Wizard channel, YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Korg Volca keys we've got here. It's a pretty nice 3-voice analog synthesizer and sequencer. So you can use this type of synthesizer either on its own with the built-in keyboard, or you can plug in a MIDI keyboard to the MIDI port here, and you can access it via MIDI. It will accept sync as well as notes, and I believe CC control of the knobs, but I'm not 100% sure on that fact. And as far as the synthesizer, it's great, kind of cheap intro to analog synthesis. It's not modular, but it's also hackable if you have some skill with a soldering iron or the wherewithal to take apart your alarm clock and put it back together. You might be able to pull this apart and add some modifications to it. There's a full MIDI spec on all the Volca devices that you can solder a MIDI cable out to and use the sequencer to control other gear, which is an interesting tidbit of information. This also supports the sync, Volca sync. So if you play it with other Volca devices, you'll be able to synchronize them with the sync in and sync out with a standard 3.5-inch stereo headphone cable. All right, so with a little bit of with that overlay, it's a pretty good, pretty basic device. We've got the as you can see here, there's a speaker on the back, so if you don't have headphones, if you don't have headphones, you can still play with this device and jam out some tunes. All right, so we've got these two. I'm going to break into the sections on it. Here you've got the voice modes. So you've got poly, unison, octave, fifth, unison ring, and poly ring. So poly is going to be polyphonic, unison is going to be stacked oscillators, octave is going to be octave separated oscillators. Fifth is going to be fifth separated, so let's say if you play a C, then it's going to be 5 notes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to play an E along with the C. Unison ring is a ring modulation where it's going to be the unison, but with the third oscillator is ring modulated. And poly ring is the same thing, except for it's poly, but with the last oscillator, I believe, ring modulated. So, and then down here, you've also got a octave knob. So if I turn it up, it's high. If I turn it down, it's lower. And these are each 1 octave. So this is a great synth if you need something that you can do analog chords with, as it does three notes chords. All right, so the sequencer section, which it looks like it's playing right now, I'm going to turn the tempo up a little bit. And we don't have any notes set in this sequencer. I believe you can stop it and you hit record and then it'll wait for you. So now I'm going to play a C chord, and hopefully I can do this right. And it'll just start once I start playing that chord. And when it comes around, you can see the sequencer. And I could lay in other chords or other notes at different sections. So and we're hearing a little bit of this delay here, so I can turn that off and hear it more basic. Now this will also record your knob twists. So for example, right here is the motion sequence. There's settings down here, if you notice. We've got, this is the tempo that you want it to go at, so you can actually have it, if you hold the function and then activate them, it's on 1/4, but I could set it to 1/1 right now if I want. And it should go faster. So you can have it go 1 speed, or 1/2 speed, or 1/4 speed. And when you're playing this along with Volcas or with a MIDI tempo sync, it will actually do the 1/1 to the tempo you're playing, 1/2 of the tempo you're playing, or 1/4 of the tempo that you're playing. So what I was going to get into a second ago before I got a little bit sidetracked was that we have this motion sequence, and you can record the knob twists that you use in here. So if I hit record, so it just recorded those delay motion movements. I can do the same thing with other knobs here. Let's see, get the record going. So all of these are not automatable. And I haven't tried pumping CC values into it, but I believe that they're all also automatable via MIDI CC. So you can send it MIDI CCs from your DAW or from your controller into this MIDI port, and then control the synth parameters from there. So one of the other things that I really like about this synthesizer is that you can, excuse me. It has what's called active step. So if I turn on the active step mode, I can actually turn on and off steps. So I can toggle on and off these steps, and it'll either tick through them or not. So you can actually get strange polyrhythms by putting something, maybe if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. You can get interesting polyrhythms out of this synthesizer by setting it for odd numbers of steps. And then you can run that along with your rhythm device, whether you're going to use a Volca drum machine or a Volca sample or an Electribe or even your main DAW in your computer. And you can actually get interesting polyrhythms where it'll just kind of wrap these 7 steps around, and you'll kind of get it wrapping around, so you don't have this note in the same spot every time. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. This has been a quick overview of the Volca Keys, the analog 3-voice synthesizer from Korg. And it's battery powered. It's a great little thing to carry around with you. A nice little synthesizer sketchpad. Works with MIDI. Also has recordable knob motions. It's a very, very fun, very cool device. And it's one of my favorite out of the Volca range, just because it's so editable and tweakable. So I hope you had a great time, and please remember to subscribe to our MIDI channel, or excuse me, our YouTube channel, The MIDI Wizard on YouTube, and we'll have the link coming up in just a second. Thank you so much for viewing. Bye.